awakened me. This is not a diet. Like, this has nothing to do with the food, like nothing. And it's all about community and the psychological part of it and just togetherness. And it's not just a diet. And it makes me giggle to think that I used to think that.
I just love you. I have loved watching that light bulb hit for you. You're like, holy what the what? I showed up to lose some weight. I went on a diet. What just happened?
I didn't remember telling you at convention. I was like, this is not just a thing. And you're like, girl, this is not just a thing.
This is
like,
not just a thing.
No. You.
Yeah. This ain't something you come to thinking you're going to lose some weight. This is a thing you come to and your whole entire life gets rocked from the foundation up in all the right ways. Oh gosh, you guys are such badasses. I love celebrating you. But I know Shelly's got some good stuff, so I'm gonna pass. Oh, wait. Ellen said 2021, I had the confidence in myself to attempt and actually birth my daughter without medication. And now I am in massive action in my business. Dang, girl. Fist bump for that. All right, Shelly, take it away.
Hey, I love hearing your guys' stories. You guys are rock stars, and I love that you guys are waking up to what this really is and how you can really help to transform people's lives. You know, you can't take people where you haven't been, right? So, Shayla, you had been on a diet. That's what you had been on. And in your defense, you got coaching from somebody who was coaching a diet and you didn't know. And now, Shayla, because you're going deeper in your own transformation work, you're able to awaken to that, and you go deeper first, which then means you can take your clients deeper into the work, right? So remember that your ability to transform lives is a direct correlation to your ability to transform your own. And that's what leaders, that's what coaches who are really showing up professionally, that's what they're doing. You know, it doesn't take that much skill set to sell somebody some feelings, you know. And there's a lot of Optavia coaches that do that. But now I will say what I find interesting is a lot of people say they want to change, and a lot of people say they want transformation, and a lot of people think like you've got to change your mind first before you change your physical body. Like that's a big coaching philosophy. A lot of coaches, they coach mindset coaching, right? And they kind of neglect the physical body. And this is one of the reasons why I chose this program, because what I knew about the science of how our body works is that if your brain doesn't have the nutrition, the brain fuel, if it doesn't have blood sugar balance, if it doesn't have neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, you can go sit in a therapist's office all day long. You can go talk to a coach all day long about mindset. But if your blood sugar is erratic, honey, you are never going to feel normal. You are not going to have the mental capacity to do what I call the work, which is the inner healing, the inner transformation, all of that kind of stuff. So if somebody came to me and said, well, actually people do come to me and they say, well, can you just work with me like without the nutrition piece? Because I don't want to change my diet. No, I can't. I'm not doing that with you. Why? Because your blood sugar, your serotonin, your dopamine, all your endorphins, it's not, your brain's not going to be turned on in a way that we can do the work. And that's why when we coach 5 and 1 strong, have you guys ever noticed that when people are in a good fat burn, their mood changes? Or have you ever noticed that about yourself? Yeah, changes how you feel. Well, there's a lot of physiological reasons behind that. the main one is blood sugar balance. This is all you need to know. You don't need to be a scientist. Blood sugar balance, which affects your cortisol. Your cortisol is your stress hormone. It's produced by your adrenal glands. Okay. So blood sugar affects cortisol, and cortisol is essentially what I would call the master hormone. That's what I call it, because the cortisol, think of a symphony. Okay. Who runs the symphony? The conductor. Cortisol is the conductor of your symphony, the harmony in your body. So when your blood sugar is erratic and your cortisol is erratic, you are not going to feel in harmony and balance. You're not going to be singing. You're not going to be making music with your life, right? And so that is my number one tip for anybody. There's science upon science upon science about this. Drug addiction, fix the nutrition. Some people got into drug addiction because their nutrition sucked, because their serotonin was low and their dopamine was off. And when they did drugs, they felt better. Right? It's like crazy. Alcohol addiction, same thing. Some people got into alcohol addiction trying to make themselves feel better when all they needed to do is change their nutrition. PTSD. That's another one. Tons of research on how to heal PTSD. Nobody's talking about the nutritional piece. If your brain doesn't have the fuel, it's an actual physical organ. If it doesn't have the fuel to heal, like if you break your arm needs fuel to heal it, right? When you have PTSD, you actually have like scars on your brain that show up on a scan, essentially on a brain scan. Not a CT scan, but a certain type of brain scan. There's actual physical trauma that happens to your brain. And when you change the nutrition, it starts to heal. So, I mean, it's incredible. But anyway, what I want to talk to you guys about is coaching yourselves into coaching your clients and yourself into a strong fat burn. Because when you're in fat burn, the harmony starts singing and the music starts playing. And if we don't get our clients into a strong fat burn, they're not going to feel that. And it can hinder their progress. And that's why Dr. A says that, and once they're in fat burn, that's the teachable moment. Well, the reason why is because their brain is turned on a different level. You're actually even more spiritually attuned. The part of your brain that is associated with spiritual awakening is activated when you're in a fasting type state. And when you have, that's why our program is so magical, because we're fasting without fasting. So we're getting the benefits of fasting, but still feeding our body nutrition. So it's truly magical. But spiritually, you awaken on a different level when you're in fat burn, because that part of your brain is activated. So all that to say, hopefully it's not too nerdy for you guys, because it's my love. Okay. I love this part. And I think it's so magical is, if your clients aren't in a strong fat burn, if they're 5 and whining, if they're, I'm hungry and can I eat this? And can I eat that? And can I just have a cheat day? And can I blah, blah, blah. They're not in fat burn. When clients are in a good, strong, solid fat burn, they're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I love everybody. Let's, have you ever noticed that? You are too. But like, if you're not in a strong fat burn, you're kind of ishing. You're like, oh, I need celery. I need Gatorade. I need 10 LaCroix. I need some Diet Coke. I need whatever. Cause you're just, you're not quite satisfied. And I'm guilty of doing this. Okay. I'm guilty of coaching my clients this way, because when they're like, well, can I just have, some extra celery, or can I just have some extra cups of chicken broth or whatever? I'm so hungry. And I'll be like, yeah, I mean, it's only 5 calories, or, I'm kind of soft on them sometimes. What I have learned is that we are doing our clients a major disservice by doing that. And when I tell them about all the hacks and all the tricks and, add the whipped cream and do this and do that, whatever, I slow their weight loss down. I flip them out of flat burn. They're not happy. They're not having that spiritual, emotional awakening. Their hormones are not happy, because that cortisol affects every other hormonal process in the body, your thyroid, your reproductive hormones. I mean, everything. Okay. So they're just not satisfied, not happy. They're five and whining. Do you think they're going to rave about our program? Do you think they're going to tell all their friends? Do you think they're going to stick with it when they're in that state? Nope. Do you think they're going to want to read their life book? No, they're thinking about food because they're on 800-ish calories a day, but they're not in a solid fat burn. They're probably more running about 1,300 calories a day, which is just about 100 calories over what they need to be in fat burn, depending on the size of the person. Okay. So if you've got somebody that weighs 200 pounds and they do 5 and 1 and they do a sloppy 5 and 1, they're probably going to stay in fat burn. Probably, maybe ish, right? Because they need more calories per day to run off of. But somebody like me, if I add an extra cream cheese and an extra chicken broth and an extra Gatorade because I'm hungry, that will flip me out of fat burn because I need less calories per day. And when something says it's zero, like Gatorade zero, like LaCroix, like ice, that drink ice, when it says natural flavors, whatever, it says 000, those things are not truly zero. There can be a certain level of sugar in them and they don't have to count it. They can be a certain level of calories in them and they don't have to put it on the nutrition label. So when something says it's zero, it's not actually zero. So if they're like doing it all the time, it's not zero. Like a Diet Coke, it's not really zero. Okay. So the other thing about artificial sweeteners is artificial sweeteners, they do have an influence on your blood sugar level, even though it's not technically sugar. That's really all you need to know about that. So if you're abusing that a lot, or your clients are abusing that a lot, then they do have potential for them to disrupt that process and they'll be jonesing for more sugar and more sweet because they're really used to that super, super sweet stuff. And so they're not, if we don't get them in a strong fat burn and we're too soft, it's a detriment to their fat burn. It's a detriment not only to their fat burn, but to them having an awakening, to them doing the work, to them raving about you and sharing with all their friends, and to them staying on program, because all of a sudden they don't have enough money. When they're in fat burn, oh, they can find the money, honey, because they feel amazing, but they're not happy and satisfied. All of a sudden they can't find the money. They can't afford the program and they cancel. And it really was never about any of that. It was about, we didn't coach them into a strong fat burn because we didn't want to tell them, no, don't put the whipped cream on your pancakes 3 times a day, honey, because you're going to flip yourself out of My mom's like, what? Why? Why can't we have whipped cream? No. Am I making sense? Have you ever been soft? Like, because we don't want them to cancel and we want them to like us and we want to keep them comfortable and whatever. They didn't come to us for that. They came to us because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired and they want out of their situation. And us giving them extra condiments, extra snacks, like there's a big rumor on the street that you can have Smart Pop popcorn, and that ain't the truth, honey. Somebody lied to you. That ain't the truth. That will flip you out of fat burn and it will flip your clients out of fat burn. So if you have a high number of clients that start and stop in their first month, I could almost bet you're not coaching them into a strong fat burn and they don't understand the science of fat burn. I know. My mom's like, dang, you're harsh. she's joking with me. But one thing I used to do is I used to send my clients before they ever started a video on fat burn and why fat burn is different than anything else they've ever done. And I used to tell them, this ain't Weight Watchers. This ain't unlimited vegetables, honey. Because I know all them other plans you've been on, they're like, oh, you can eat healthy food unlimited and it doesn't count. No, it counts. So, I used to tell them that, and I got out of the habit of doing that. And I can honestly say I have had an increase of number of clients that don't stick with it. And I think that's exactly why. So love to hear your guys' feedback, ahas that you've had. Is this speaking to anybody here?
So I just want to say real quick that I'm really sad about the LaCroix and the ice. I'm really sad for
Right?
oh,
I know.
but anyway, so okay. So if
And
we're
I'm not going to say you can't ever have one. Okay. I'm saying if we hold a standard, then the client, they might have one LaCroix a week as a treat versus having 10 a day because they think it don't matter. One LaCroix a week or one Diet Coke a week as a treat isn't that big a deal. But if they only want to drink sweet things that are full of art, you know what I mean? And they're not getting accustomed to water, it's to see. So use the LaCroix and the fancy drinks and whatnot for the treats, not as a standard, drink it all the time.
Absolutely. So, okay. So starting a new client, I want to approach this because some people are like, well, I can't do this forever. Blah. And I understand you. So do
Well, you
you
can't be fat forever either. So what you
I
gonna do?
Pick your heart.
I know. So I guess when starting a new client, I kind of want to be like, okay, you need to give yourself 2 weeks. 2 weeks solidness, like no thinking about cheating, whatever, because by then they'll be in a solid fat burn. By then,
that's exactly what I do.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I had a gal, she's like, I mill my own bread. It's so healthy. I mill it for the health benefits and blah, 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 and on about her special magic bread. And I'm like, she's like, can't I just have one slice a day or whatever? I said, give me 2 weeks.
Okay.
We'll reevaluate in 2 weeks, but you need a reset.
Okay.
So I just tell them it's like a reset. It's like a detox. It's like you're just getting really lean and really clean on everything. You're getting super focused, super intentional, super mindful. And this is just for a season. We're not doing this forever. If they have 60, 100 pounds to lose, I just tell them, one thing I've been telling my clients is you got to give me 3 months total to work with me. I cannot help you change your habits in a month. So you need to block off 12 weeks and commit to 12 weeks of going all in with me. I don't tell them that like when they first enroll, but like on their kickoff call. And I said, every month we're going to reevaluate your nutrition plan. So your nutrition plan could potentially change, but the 4 tools stay the same. But every month we're going to reevaluate your nutrition plan. And I would say somebody that needs to lose 600, 100 pounds or whatever, they might not be on 5-1 the whole time, right? We have to evaluate, because if they're doing a 5-1-ish, they are actually better sometimes to do a 5-2 or a 4-2-1 than a 5-1-ish.
Yeah. And that's why I said, if we break it down to like, okay, you have to give me 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To get them in that strong, because if I tell a 400-pound person, okay, you have to give me 12 weeks, they're going to be like, screw you. I'm going to go.
Yeah. Give me 2 weeks or the first month, it's like, go all in with me for the next, for this month. Give it all you got. Do all the things, all in, all 4 tools, all 4 weeks. We're getting results. We're going places. You defend their dream. Like, this thing that you want, that you hired me to help you get, we're getting it.
Coach their solution, not their feelings.
Yes. Coach their solution, not their feelings. You got it, sister. Anyone else?
You know what it reminds me of is the conversation that we had at one of the conventions. It was a live Q&A with Dr. A, and they were asking Dr. A about hacks. And he was literally like, what is a hack? And somebody explained to him what a hack was. And he's like, why the hell are you taking the simplest, easiest system and making it complicated? Stop making it complicated. And the way that we make it complicated is by saying yes to small things that are not in the guide. right? The guide is scientifically proven. What's in the guide is what the science says will create a fat burn. There's no LaCroix. There's no Gatorade Zero. There's no whatever, right? And so that, like, my standard answer is, if it's not in the guide, don't do it. Right? Like, I just had a client the other day say, hey, can I do chicken wings in the air fryer? I said, I don't see chicken wings in the guide. I would recommend sticking to the proteins that are listed in the guide. Because the second we say, yeah, it's you know, that's ish, it's sort of like your idea of what might be okay on program is not what's scientifically proven. And that, like, was a lesson to me too, because I was saying yes to little things here and there because I think I know what I think I know. But
Modified plans equals modified results.
Yep.
And we're not here to tell people they can do whatever they want, but if they want the results that we get, then this is what our plan is. Anyone else? Feedback, questions?
Yes. Yeah, I'm like a drill sergeant. And because I did the program exactly the way it is. And I did that because in my previous transformations, I'm an all or nothing person. Like, I cannot, it's either I'm in or I'm out. There's no in between, because if I have the extra, I'm done. Like, it'll take me like 2 days and I'll be back to whatever it is. So I know proof, because I've done this over and over in my life, that you have to be all in. And I'm not spending $400 or $500 a month and not getting everything out of it. You know, I lost 34 pounds in 16 weeks and I did not cheat once. And I had extra pickle one day. I was like, oh my God. And I just really, you know, you really have to have your why and your long term, because it's just so worth it. And the coaching has helped me get, you know, keep that solid foundation of that thinking. I'm actually going to do another 5-in-1, I think, next month. Because I did get a lot off track on the holidays, and like I said, I'm all or nothing, and I kind of started dwindling back, and I know myself, so to get back on track. But yeah, I don't, you know, I'm strict with my clients, and like you said, you know, they are going to do what they're going to do, but I'm not going to like suggest that they can do that stuff.
Yeah, they might do whatever they do, but let's not be the reason they do it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And another little tip here is, if clients are, you know, teach your clients, if they're 5 pounds over, they need to rein it in. Like, when they're optimizing, if before you optimize them, let them know if they're 5 pounds up, they need to rein it in and probably go back to like a 4, 2, and 1. If they're 10 pounds over their desired weight, it's time for a 5-in-1 reset, and be honest with them that this is the life of optimization. Okay. It's not a clear picture perfect path. Okay. And I think another thing that I've done is I've been guilty of people who say, well, do I have to eat the fuelings forever? Well, I've very much coddled that question and been like, no, like we teach you to fully optimize and blah, blah, blah. But I think what I'm going to start saying is, no, you don't have to do anything forever. And you definitely don't need to do 5-in-1 forever. But when you optimize, what I have found to be the most successful, and what I found in my own life to continue my success, is optimizing to a 3-in-3 program, at least for your first year, because you are on shaky ground. And if it's your desire to not gain this weight back, I highly recommend you optimize into a 3-in-3. And that is what has worked for me personally and most of my clients. Because that's the truth. When I try to fully optimize and do all my food, 6 meals a day, all on my own, I always screw it up and I always end up gaining weight back. It's just too much for my brain to handle. So anyway, be really firm in that. And you can let them know if if you place $150 order every month for that first year and you optimize that way, the benefit of that too is that you still get your personal one-on-one coaching from me. Because Premier is what gets you your personal one-on-one coaching. The minute you cancel your Premier, your personalized one-on-one coaching goes away. You still have access to the group and the community coaching and all of that, but your personalized one-on-one coaching goes away. And I find that, especially in that first year, that is critical to make sure you've locked in those habits. So that's what I'm going to be telling my clients from now on. And I'm not going to coddle the question. So I don't think you're going to go from a 5 and 1 to fully optimized in 6 weeks and kill it. I couldn't do it. And I was a health coach and I ate pretty healthy. I was not going through McDonald's, So
Yeah. Something Donnie said stuck in my head about this part of the transition. She said, what I have found is that the clients that choose to go to all Whole Foods withdraw from everything else as well. When you withdraw from one tool, you withdraw from all the rest. And what we know is that the people who stay plugged into the system, and the system is 4 tools, is that those are the people that do the best long term. So my question for you would be, how long do you want to keep your results?
Yep.
And that was like dynamite.
Yeah. It's like you spent 50 years creating these habits. You're not going to be fixed in 3 months or 4 months or whatever. It's just not how transformation works. So I kind of did this a little bit backwards, but I wanted to make sure we really nailed this home, because I want you guys coaching in a strong fat burn and really holding the bar on that, and really help clients to make that happen. And then also want to celebrate you guys, because you guys have been doing amazing. You're doing hard things. And I was hoping Danica was on here, because Danica reached executive director. Woo woo. And that's a huge milestone. And I think she's only been a coach for 3 months. So that is amazing. And then Lisa reached manager this month. Woo! So exciting. Now Lisa kind of started, and she's been a coach since before convention. And she's just now got her fire and kind of woken up a little bit, and really got into some massive action. So it's just neat to watch that, Lisa. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, your coaching has really, has in that the Unstoppable and the Dream Team really got me into action, just seeing everybody really working hard and just wanting to help more people. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I really it's just an epidemic. Wanting to help more really motivated me.
Yes. Love it. So and then let's see, we've got is there go ahead, Jessica, you've got some celebrations.
I do. There's actually 2 brand spanking new coaches, and I'm bummed that neither of them are on this morning, because they inspire me so much. The first is Robin Lehman. I love her story, because she came to me to explore the coach opportunity, and she basically told me on our first call that she was not going to do the feelings. And I was like, you're not going to do the feelings, but you're looking for something, because you already know about this program, and here you are on my Zoom screen. So I was bold with her, and I just said, the question that you need to be asking is not, can I do the feelings? The question that you need to be asking is, are the feelings going to be the thing that prevent me
Way to go.
from creating a life that I love and from building a business that creates impact? And I just want to applaud her, because I didn't even know her. Like, I'd known her for maybe 20 minutes, like on a Zoom screen, right? And I was like very bold. And I was like, either she's going to shut down and run and like call me a heinous human, or she's going to come back and it's going to open her mind a little bit. And the very next day she said, here are the feelings I can have. Let's do this. And she came and said, the last people I talked to told me I could do 2 weeks. I said, well, if you want to do 2 weeks, go back and play with them, because you do a full 30 days in my world, the end. Right? Like, like I'm
Hold
not
the
doing
standard.
to nothing. And in the last month, she has experienced amazing transformation in her own health. And she is now the biggest advocate of the feelings because she feels great. And she is doing an amazing job sharing. She's being bold. She is doing a lot of health assessments. She's practicing, and she signed on her first client this last week. And she is so thrilled to be serving her friends and the people in health, because she knows what a gift this is. And another realization that she came to that like almost made me cry was the fact that she said, I didn't realize how bad off and how much suffering the people in my direct world were actually experiencing until I did these health assessments with them. So it's opened her lens even wider to the fact that there's a lot of suffering going on that she wasn't even aware of. And these were people that were really close in her life. So that's the first one. And then the second one, her name is Stacy Larson. She is actually Danica's brand new coach. And she and I did a health assessment together because Danica's out of town right now. And literally at the end of the health assessment, her friend signed up. So she's got her first official client on her first health assessment, like total freak in nature, but she's so excited. And she was in tears afterwards. And she said, I'm just in awe of the fact that she said yes. And I get to witness her getting better every single day. And like, she was emotional because it was such a gift to her life. And I'm just, it's, I think when you've been a coach for a while and you're bringing on new clients, you kind of lose that like excitement. There's nothing like the excitement of your first client. And that's part of why I love mentoring new coaches, because it refreshes my excitement for the opportunity for someone to transform their lives. And so I wanted to share that with you, to just like reinfuse that joy of bringing people into the journey. And there are two people on this call that I would love to celebrate as well. The first is Tracy. For some of you who may not know, Tracy lost her amazing husband a couple of months ago. And she bravely came with me to an event, to a coaching event, and had some pretty major shifts. And since that time, I think you've brought on three new clients in the last couple of weeks. Is that right?
I brought on 3 and I have 3 assessments today.
Today, 3 assessments today.
Yeah.
And last year, I remember you're like, I think I have 2 assessments this month.
Yeah.
Or maybe 1 this month. I have 3 today.
I have 3 today, and I've been talking to one person at work, and I'm going to sit down with her and do a little bit more serious talk.
Yeah. I would love for you to share a little bit about your story, and what do you feel like was that tipping point between, I have 3 assessments in a month to I have 3 assessments today?
I don't know, because I've been with you since 2019 and I haven't been real active. I've always found excuses. A lot of it was fear of talking to people. After losing my husband and being on a couple Facebook sites of people that have been dealing with a lot of loss, I realized, what we have is such a gift that can prevent other children or other spouses from losing somebody close to them. Even though it wasn't a lifestyle thing that killed my husband, there's still so much out there that is preventable. And then going to conference with you, that just, I don't know what triggered my brain, but something triggered. So I don't care anymore. I just want people around me to be healthy and happy.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
putting myself behind and everybody else in front of me.
You found your
beautiful.
why. You found your why.
I did
You
find
found
my
the why that makes you cry.
The why that makes me cry is the pain of losing somebody. I don't want anybody else to feel that, because
Welcome to
there's-
Team Redeem. That's
Thank
why it's called Team Redeem, because we're redeeming the time. Right?
That's beautiful. Thanks, Tracy.
Mhm.
And the second person that I want to celebrate is Gloria. Gloria. So what I absolutely love about Gloria is that she looks at like all of us go-getters, right? There's a lot of go-getters on this screen. We're out here to tackle the world. We're out here to like save the things. We're doing like massive action every single day. And Gloria is like, I sometimes judge myself because I'm not doing what you guys are doing. But the shift that Gloria recently had was that she's in a completely different season of life. And this beautiful silver fox is out loving people. And she's loving them through business. She's loving them through volunteering. She's loving them through being present at a coffee shop. She is loving them in so many different ways. And I know that Gloria's deep why is to leave a legacy. And one of the shifts that she had this month was realizing that a legacy doesn't just mean business. And it doesn't mean that she has to be as much of a go-getter as some of us are. She has other venues in which she loves people and leaves a legacy. So Gloria, I would love for you to share a little bit about that shift and what you're up to.
And when I see all of you amazing ladies that are just, killing this, I am so happy for you guys and I'm so proud of you. And it's not a competition thing. It's just that sometimes I go, well, should I be doing more? Well, I may not be doing more in the Facebook group type thing, but what sets my soul on fire is to be out there helping others. And I recently had a very dear friend pass away last Sunday, and she was only 27 years old. And it had nothing to do with obesity. She was, unfortunately had been struggling for 2.5 years with cancer. And I was blessed that I had the time to go and sit with her so her mom could go and run errands. And, I volunteer at the sheriff's office and I love helping people. Simple things like picking up a search and rescue vehicle from the maintenance yard and having it available at the sheriff's office for the next time that a call comes out that somebody is lost and needs to go do that. Those kinds of things set my soul on fire. Now, I have to tell you that I have clients that I have met through all of those venues. Not that I go out looking for them, but, it just comes up and then all of a sudden they know that they're not feeling about this or maybe they're healthy right now, but they're worried about, this is a health assessment yesterday about somebody who's fine right now, but worried the fact that they have been dealt these genes for diabetes, for high blood pressure, for cardiac disease. So I'm like, hey, this is a perfect time to make your changes right now. You don't want to wait to that point. So, and I am a bit of a hard ass with my clients, and it's because my coaches are hard asses.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'll claim that.
Jessica and Shelly. And yeah, I'm like, I don't, I tell them the truth. I lay it out there for them. And yes, it's your choice. People always say to me, am I always going to struggle? And it's like, the honest truth is, no, you're not going to always struggle, but you are going to have days when you struggle. But here's the deal. Plug into all of these 4 tools and you will learn habits to help you get past that, Get in your life book. Let's talk a little bit about that drama triangle because it sounds to me like you are in victim mode. So let's talk about that. So I don't give them a whole lot of slack. And so sometimes, people get a little ticked off and I just let them, hey, think about it. Let's get back. But, so that's what I do. So I'm not doing 3 and 5 health assessments a day. I'm not. I did at one point, and sometimes I will. I mean, I had a week where I brought on 5 new clients, started on a Monday, and I was ripping my hair out. You notice my hair is silver. So let me tell you one thing, ladies. As you get older, it is a little harder to navigate a bunch of stuff. And, the techie part is a little harder for me. It's not impossible, but it is a little harder. And I don't have the benefit of a 12-year-old son or grandson because I have no children, and my four-legged fur ball is no help whatsoever as far as that's concerned. So, I do have a few little challenges, but you know what? It helps me grow, and I just love this program. I also, over the holidays, hey, I made homemade tortillas and I made homemade beans and rice, and I did all of this, and because I was celebrating my mom for a day and doing all that. So, but it's time to get back, and I completely agree that when you are in fat burn, you feel like you can do it all. It is amazing, but you cannot, tweak it. I've got my clients who want to tweak this and want to tweak that, but it says 0 and stuff like that. It's like, I had somebody who said, "Can I have egg noodles?" And I'm like, "Is it in your spiral notebook? We discussed this. If it's not in the spiral notebook, no." So anyways,
Yeah.
but
Well, what I love
just
about
love
your
this.
story, Gloria, is that, and this proves the point home, is people sometimes will say, well, I'm not techie, or I don't want to be on social media all the time, and blah, 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 whatever like that. And here's the truth of the matter. You don't have to. The
Right.
Facebook, social media is a tool. Optavia was a program before social media.
Correct.
Okay. So there was a time when there was no social media, but Optavia was out there changing the health of America. Okay. How do we change the health of America? We tell our story to somebody. We build relationships, we build connections, and we let them know we got a story and we can help them. Mm-hmm. The end of solution, or end of story, right? And so you, like, essentially a Facebook group is like going to your local coffee shop, or there's just people there. That's it. Just build relationships, let people know that your story, and let them know that you can help them. The end. Doesn't matter if it's through Facebook, if you're meeting new friends by going out into the community, whatever. That's the end of it. So just keep your glasses on, looking for people that need you out in the world, right? Not just on Facebook. So, all right,
Well, and
guys.
also, like, embracing the fact that you're serving people in more than one way, right? Like, our business is not just about selling people the program. Our business is about serving people, and that doesn't always mean that they become our client.
Right.
So
that just means being
beautiful.
That's one of our transformational habits, right? Is we seek to serve mankind. As an Optavia coach, if you're truly embracing the 7 or the 6 habits of transformational leadership, one of them is we seek to serve mankind. The end. Not we seek to get our FQV to 10,000.
And I have to tell you that there's times that I did a health assessment, but I've done health assessment, and 1 year later, they come back and they go, "Okay, I'm done. I'm ready now." So a health assessment doesn't turn into a client every time. But don't get discouraged about that. And in the beginning, I have to be honest, for anybody who's newer that's listening to this, in the beginning, I did get discouraged. But then again, I got slapped around by my badass coaches, and it's like, knock that off. And I did. And so I was going in with an expectation of getting a client. And it was more than that. It was an expectation of, I just wanted to slap them, because I'm like, you know what? You are going to die. But I had to let go of that and get more gentle in that respect, and giving them the information and just saying, I am here when you're ready. And when you leave it like that and you maintain the friendship, if it's somebody in your world, because I've done that with a lot of people that I have contact with, you know what? They come around. They will. So just as Shelley and Jessica had said, just love the people. It's so true. Just love and serve the people.
Yep, exactly. And that's what you're doing, Gloria. And you also have one of the highest FQVs in our organization. And so that, and she's not out there trying to get people, she's out there trying to make a difference in the world. And that's the difference, right? You're serving with your whole heart, you know your why that makes you cry, and you're out there serving people. And so, and you know, just for the others that are on here, I see Sarah, I love how you share your story, and I love how you share your life like out loud and live the habits out loud. It's so awesome and so inspiring. And you know, like when I think hang on, when you do that, you know, people notice, they notice you showing up, so for them. So all right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you back next week on Saturday.
Yeah, you too.
All right,
Have
bye-bye.
fun in Florida. Bye.